What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to do a Ask Me Anything episode. So I'm going to have a couple things I'm going to talk about, but of course you guys can ask some questions. There's already a bunch of good questions in here, so I'm going to actually scroll back. I am shooting on a new camera today, so I don't know if you noticed the difference with the camera or not, but hopefully it's better. I had a lot of problems shooting, so that's why you haven't seen any videos this week. So Monday and Tuesday I've been spending trying to figure out this new phone, and I spent a bunch of time actually been talking to G Tony since he sent me that skateboard gorilla, and that video took I hate to admit it was like 4 hours because I had to film and then refilm, and then I was editing, and I found out my computer is so old that it doesn't work. So I basically had to get a new computer, new phone. Everything's really old. I have all old stuff. It's like 10 years old or something. So I am part of the Apple family. Thanks, Ricky Gregory. What's up, Dr. Diecast, Jay-Z, Ridiculous Badger, Aaron Scott. Oh, he's finally joining live. Thank you. Let's see, Steve Camilleri, Ricky Gregory, Ryo, all you guys. I'm going to scroll back and get some of your questions. So if you're commenting, I'm probably not going to see it for a little bit. I just wanted to show a couple things that are coming up on my channel. So first we'll have this guy right here. Wow, this looks really good. This is the Flame Toys Dark Saber. So if you don't know my favorite character, so this actually leads into my little live here. My favorite character is Jetfire. Transformer character is Jetfire. So here's Jetfire. This is the custom I had done by Get Right Robot. It's got a custom head, basically custom paint. He's painted the sides here. He's customized the gun. But I love Jetfire, so that's why I got this custom done. I really, really enjoy it. So I have two of these. I have the regular Phoenix right back there, and then I got this custom Phoenix. And then this one is just for review. So thank you to Carl S. for sending this for review. We also have this guy coming up. This is a crazy looking guy. Look at this. He's got huge wings. This is the blue Megatron. I guess they call him Dragon Megatron. I don't even know his name, to be honest, but pretty cool paint job. So we'll take a look at that soon. I'm not really willing to say how much the custom costs because every custom job he does is different. Depends on how difficult, how much paint, you know, what you want, how many jobs are you doing with him. So I don't necessarily want to share the cost because it's unique, and I don't want to set an expectation that's unrealistic. All right, so let's get into the interview. So you guys already have some questions. Let me get on to that. So I already talked to my favorite character is Jetfire. I have three Jetfires, maybe four coming. I also have my second favorite character is Optimus Prime. Of course, a little bit boring, but I have a whole shelf of Optimus Prime. I use them all for comparisons in my reviews. And yeah, I had an Optimus Prime collection way back when, and I got rid of it, and now I have it again. So let me try to get through your questions so I can catch up with you guys. So if you could have one 6 foot, this is from Mega Doomer. If you could have one 6 foot tall Transformers that actually transforms, which one would you choose? The transformation must be done manually. Okay. I would probably say either Metroplex or Fort Max. Because they're so square and blocky, the transformations are pretty easy. So, and thankfully we have the Fans Toys version of Fort Max coming. That's probably one of the only few, either Fort Max or Metroplex, are probably one of the only few that I would want in that size. That's just really big. Can you do a giveaway? I do a giveaway every once in a while. I just did one at 5,000 subscribers. I actually gave away multiple things, a couple sound waves, not the big ones, the little core class sound waves. I think a few other things. So I will have another giveaway probably at 7,500 subscribers. So all I ask from you guys is if you like my channel, like my content, just share it. That's all I ask, nothing else. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to join a membership, nothing like that. Just share my videos. That's all I ask you for. And I will do a giveaway soon, Dark Man. I will. Mega Doomer says, house music at the beginning and the end of your videos is great. Did you always know you would use it to set the relaxed and fun mood in your videos? How did you choose it? So all my music is from YouTube studio. So YouTube has a free music library where you can go and get music. It doesn't have any copyright or any royalties needed. So I get all my music from there. And actually, most YouTubers get their music from the YouTube Music Library because it's free. Some people are creative enough, like Bobby Skullface, to create their own music. I'm not creative enough to do that. So yeah, so I got it from there. I searched basically chill, the word chill or hip hop music, and it came up with that. I tried to find music that nobody else is using. So that's how I got there. How much time does it take to create an episode once you've decided on a bot or subject? So like I said, last night, it took a way too long because I had to refilm the entire thing. I filmed it in 4K and it failed, and my computer's not even capable of editing 4K. So I have to buy a new computer. But normally it takes about an hour to film, especially if it's a transforming transformer. If it's something like Flame Toys, which doesn't transform, then that's a little bit faster. But if it's a transforming transformer, especially something like Fans Toys, Acoustic Wave, that'll take at least an hour. And then editing is probably another hour. Uploading and thumbnail and all that other stuff is probably another half hour. So probably like you're talking 2 to 3 hours total production. What's up, Michael Rogers? Has anybody has purchased Acoustic Wave had problems with Frenzy Rumble hips? I have a slightly loose hip on my Rumble, but it's not too bad. All right. I'm still thinking of getting Acoustic Wave. Yeah, I like Acoustic Wave a lot. I definitely recommend it. Now, MP13 is still really good, but my Rumble is okay, or Frenzy, whatever you want to call them. All right, what else you guys got? So I want to talk about one other thing. So one topic is a hot dog and sandwich. This is so funny. That came up today. So I obviously have a day job. During my job today, so if you don't, actually, I'll talk about this. So what is my job? So I actually work as a process improvement / change management person. I basically facilitate people to help them improve processes, help them improve teamwork, just work better together, that kind of thing. And we did some icebreakers today. And one of the questions in the icebreakers was, is a hot dog a sandwich? So I think a hot dog is a sandwich. It's got bread and meat, and that makes up a sandwich. So I call it a sandwich. Yes. Yeah, my camera setup is old, but my computer is even older. Ryo, just answering your question there. Ricky says, have you heard when V2 of Perceptor going to be released? That's going to be definitely 2022. They're not going to make it into 2021, but hopefully soon in January or February. So somebody asked about the cost of this. Generally speaking, if you're just doing paint touch-up, somewhere between the $80 to $150 range. If you're doing a full repaint, meaning complete teardown, because what they have to do this is take it apart completely, treat all the parts, prep it for paint, paint it, second coat, and then clear coat it. So that's a lot of labor. So if you're doing a full paint job, usually it's somewhere between 150 to 250. If you're doing just a touch up or like accents, that might be less, maybe like 80 to 150. It depends. Everybody's got different prices. Even Sean Love has different prices. I'm not going to share the specific price for this because, like I said, it depends. Jay-Z says, I love that Dragon Megs. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about YouTube. So you can actually look up income of any YouTuber out there. So I've gotten comments in, so I don't always share my YouTube comments. One of the comments I get is TM Reviews is on Fans Toys payroll. They're paying him to talk good about their figures. I can tell you for a fact I'm not on the payroll for Fans Toys. Fans Toys doesn't care at all about my channel. They don't even know I exist, honestly. Fans Toys is very independent. They're not really tied to any store or any reviewers. They're really good about that. They're really independent. I just like Fans Toys product. They're not all home runs. Sometimes they don't have a home run, like their RC wasn't really a home run. But I love their Jetfire. This figure is really nice. So I just like Fans Toys. I like the product they make. and I'm willing to pay more for a good product. So that's why I like Fans Toys. I just like what they do. Good quality. What's up, Niles French? Thanks for joining. Who are your favorite TF reviewers? So I knew this question would come up. So I talked about this earlier. I watch a lot of Bobby Skullface. So if you don't know, he has a Patreon account. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have enough content or time to produce Patreon, so I don't have that. But I watch a lot of Bobby Skullface. I am a patron of his. I watch some of his extra content. So he makes a lot of other stuff on his Patreon, and it's just stuff that I really like. So that's my only Patreon account. I watched T-Man 978, of course, Pig for Life. And actually, that's kind of how I met them, because I looked up their channels and we just got together because we had common interests. But I guess I watch Thew reviews. I don't know if you know Thew, so whatever, however you say it. He's really entertaining. Jobby, obviously, very entertaining. Let's see. I mean, there's so many. I can't name them all. Cardboard Bots, it's really good. I wish I could open my YouTube right now and look at it, but there's a lot out there. I'm probably forgetting some. Niles, thanks for hitting that like button. Appreciate that. I'd like to collect a set of Dinobots. Okay, so this is a good question. Let me grab a Dinobot since we're here talking about it. So, Dinobots. So here's Fans Toys version of Grimlock. My favorite Grimlock is Fans Toys, but the rest of the set, almost all the other four, I think Gigapower is better. So I'm a little torn on between Gigapower and Fans Toys. I actually have the final member coming, and then I'm going to do a full comparison of versus. It'll be the Fans Toys set versus the Gigapower set. So I'll have both of them. I'm probably going to film it right there because I don't have any other space to do it. So you guys can see that versus, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to go Gigapower, Fans Toys. Right now I have both, so I haven't decided. But I will tell you, for Grimlock, Fans Toys is for me. I prefer the Fans Toys Grimlock. I have Acoustic Wave. Steve says I have to watch your Acoustic Wave review still. Yeah, I really like Acoustic Wave. I recommend it. It's a great figure. Is the beard from Movember? Yes. So Mr. B. Drennan, I'm happy that you mentioned that. So every year I raise money for Movember. So Movember is a foundation that raises money for men's health awareness. My grandfather, is many years ago, but like I think 15, 20 years ago, my grandfather passed away from prostate cancer. So I started growing a beard on November, and they call it Movember because you're supposed to grow a mustache. Now, you're not supposed to grow a whole beard like I'm doing. But what I do is I grow out the beard as long as it can get. And then at the end of the month, anybody who donated money, I let them vote. And then I shave my mustache and beard into the shape that they vote on. So last year, I think it was, what do you call it? Handlebar, a connected handlebar. 1 year, it was just a line all the way across. 1 year, it was the curly Q. So I've done them all, tried them all. Yes, so that is for Movember. Favorite G1 episode? Oh, man, that's really hard. I really like, so Jetfire is my favorite figure. I really like the episode where he's a Decepticon and then he turns to the Autobots. That's one of my favorites because they find him in the ice. And there's a lot of mystery behind that. You know, how did he get there? How were Starscream and Jetfire friends? And yet they're so far apart in terms of their thinking and their ideology. So I really like that episode with Jetfire and Starscream where they kind of discovered Jetfire. But that's really a hard question. Becca Ventura says you are better than Skullface. Skullface. So the reason I like Skullface is he's really entertaining. If you're talking about transformation, he admits himself he's not good at transformation. He's there to give his honest opinion and be entertaining. And I can tell you he is good at that. Very good at being entertaining and very good at being honest. Ryo says, Fans Toys are awesome, but most of their stuff is too expensive for me, so I live vicariously through YouTube reviewers. Yeah, it is expensive. I mean, the whole hobby is expensive. I recently moved out of retail because, one, I'm not keeping them. I'm selling them all. So I have a couple of retail. I've got the Ark right there. I've got the basically the whole set of the Quintessons. So I have the Sharkticons, I have the what do you call them, Alicons, and then I have the Quintessons. That whole set from Hasbro. But other than that, I don't really collect a lot of retail. But if you do collect retail, it's much more uh, affordable than Fans Toys. So Fans Toys really is a niche market. It's not for everybody. Three Live Team says Pig for Life, TM Bobby, Bots and Bits. Oh, I forgot about Bots and Bits. Thank you. Thank you, Three Live Stream. Yeah, that's a good pickup. Bots and Bits is from Australia. If you don't know him, his name is Sam. He makes some really fun, cool videos. So Bots and Bits actually used to be a seller. So he had a small store in Australia. He got to know these KO people. He got to know Show Z store. He's really connected in the community as far as the KO world is concerned. So he has a lot of knowledge on that. I really like Bots and Bits. I actually interviewed him on this channel. So if you want to check that out, you can check out Bots and Bits interview. Jay-Z question. Oh, I guess I should have been showing these. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't know why I didn't do that all this time. Which bot in your collection are too scared to transform due to breaking it? Me, most of mine are Fans Toys. Not due to breaking it, but just annoying is the Fans Toys Galvatron. That one definitely, I don't transform it. I pretty much never transform it. It's kind of a pain. Let's see. Now you're going to make me look. I would say the Fans Toys Spotter, their version of Reflector, I rarely ever transform. I did it just recently to compare it with the KFC figure. But I do transform everything pretty often, and most reason being I use them for comparisons or for verses or for whatever reasons. So I end up transforming a lot. Cardboard Bots is funny stuff. Yeah, I really like him. All right, I have a request. Can I see DX9 carry with hoodlum spare face on it, please? Oh, yeah, we can do that. This is Ask Me Anything. Of course, if I'm not able to answer it, I won't, but I can answer that. So you just got to give me a minute to get it. It's far away. All right, so here's DX9 carry with, where's the camera? This is Fans Toys alternate head sculpt. So Sean Love did this for me. This is a custom. Basically, he painted, and let's get this out of here. So he painted this chest. It doesn't come like that stock. He painted the face. He painted the hands, and then he painted these legs. So these legs are custom. So all that's custom. Interesting question. Thank you. This is kind of fun. Mr. Brennan said, I work in oncology and prostate cancer and do it every year. We were clean shaven at TFCon when I met you with my son. Oh, okay. So I think I did. I remember that. I remember meeting you and your son. Thanks for joining. Mark Mean says, what is your favorite combiner that you have? Just choose one. Oh, that's hard. I would say it's got to be Toy World. Toy World Constructor. I think that's still the number one, the most solid, the most best looking, the most imposing, the light up feature, everything about it. I really like Toy World Constructor. I do like Superior, so I recently got this. I didn't even review it. You guys haven't seen it yet. So back here is the Zeta Toys Superitron metallic version. I really like that too. That's a close second, but Toy World is definitely my favorite. And I'm sorry I didn't put your questions up earlier. Fire in the Sky. Yes, that's the title. So I really like the Fire in the Sky episode. That's probably one of my favorites. I mean, it's hard to remember titles of these episodes. DD. Was it Dunkin' Donuts? Dunkin' Donuts. Thoughts on an FT or TP? TP? I don't know what TP is. Megatron. Any chance of it happening? So I think Fans Toys will eventually get around to an Optimus and a Megatron. I don't know what TP is. Yeah, I'm trying to think what company you're referring to. But I think Fans Toys will eventually it'll probably be one of the last figures because they're trying to avoid the spotlight from Takara Tomy and Hasbro. So they're just sticking with figures that aren't going to catch attention, which is why Soundwave they released under Robot Paradise, trying not to get their attention. And if they do get their attention, then be able to just drop the label, right? They can drop Robot Paradise tomorrow, and nothing would matter. So I think they'll make a Megatron and a Optimus, but it'll be under a different label, like Robot Paradise or some other weird name that they'll make up just to release the figure. That's a good question. Do you collect anything aside from Transformers? Yes, I do. I have Voltron, so I collect Voltron. I only collect high-end Voltrons, so I still have the Bandai model kit. That's a really nice Voltron. I like it a lot. I've got the Bandai Solo Chugokin, and then of course I've got the Blitzway Voltron, which is supposed to be the ultimate Voltron. So I'm excited about that. So those are coming. So the other thing I collect is Gundam, and I'm not a true Gundam collector because a true Gundam collector would collect the model kits, put them together, and then display them. I've collected and built several model kits, but I always end up selling them because they just, I don't know, the feel of it and the fact that it falls apart a little bit has never been satisfying. So I think I need to go metal grade on those. But right now I have the Gundam Universe figures. And then for some bizarre reason, I started collecting G.I. Joe classified. I have pretty much all of them right now, but I'm probably going to sell them because I haven't even opened them. They're in the box. I got FOMO, collected them, and for no good reason, I have them. And so I'll probably sell them. Good question. Thank you. Ricky Gregory says, what previous Masterpiece figure needs to be redone? Wheelie. Wheelie needs to be redone. It's trash. So X-Transbots made Wheelie. I don't know why nobody has done Wheelie. It needs to be done very badly. And I think maybe X-Transbots might do another version, but I'd look for a MMC or a Fans Toys version. That'd be awesome. Let's see. I don't know if any of them really need, like all the ones I have in my collection, I kind of like them. So that's probably one of the worst ones. Much better than Skullface. Thank you. Yeah, Bobby has great content. I agree. Let's see. What is your favorite figure in your collection? That's hard. It's gonna be Fans Toys for sure. I don't know which one. I like Jetfire, but it's not my favorite. It's my favorite character. Probably that's hard. Let's look back here. I don't know. Right now, maybe Motormaster. So Fans Toys version of Motormaster is probably the most impressive figure. The way it transforms from an entire vehicle with the trailer and then compacts down. That's really impressive. That's probably one of my favorites. Hard to say favorite. Where did Prime versus Prime, Kremzik, and Tauntaun get their early figures? I can only speculate on this, so I'm just guessing. Since you asked the question, I'm going to answer in the way that I know. So there are people that work at the factory who basically take figures before they're sold. They take the figures, and that's why they don't have the packaging, because before they're put into package and put into shipping boxes and shipped out to retailers, the people that work in that factory will take a copy of it and set it aside or hide it, or I don't know how they get away with it, but they walk away with it. And then they sell them to these reviewers, and they sell them for very high prices. A $50 figure can easily be sold at $100 to one of these reviewers. So they pay pretty high prices to get them. But I guess the advantage is they get it first and they get to review it, and they get, tens of thousands of views because it's the first figure and it's the first reveal, right? So Prime versus Prime is showing figures and reviewing figures that haven't been even released by Hasbro. I can't imagine that Hasbro likes that. They don't have control of when figures are being released and shown. But I mean, let them do what they want to do. That's their channel. It's their business, how they get their figures. Me personally, I would never do that. I would never have somebody steal. Stealing is stealing to me. So I would never steal and not be a part of that. But that's good for them. If they're happy with that and they're okay with that and that gets them views, then great for them. But it's definitely stolen. That's how they get them. that's the bottom line. Most underrated or overrated bots in your opinion? Hey, what's up, Maddie the dentist? Underrated. Maybe DX9 Carry. I don't know. I mean, DX9 Carry is pretty good. It's not the best, but it's a really good, solid robot. It does robot mode well. It does vehicle mode well. It's a little bit small. Vehicle mode, probably underrated. Let me look now. Oh, yes. MMC's version of Springer. I think that's one of the best Springers, not just best Springer, but best die cast, and just best feel, best transformation. It's really underrated. It's probably better than Fans Toys, in my opinion. Really good figure. MMC, what is his name? Saltus. Cyberverse cartoon is pretty good. Highly recommend. Okay, I haven't watched it yet. T-Man suggested that to me, and I haven't watched it yet. What are your collection goals? Have they changed over time? Yes. So initially, I was just collecting Masterpiece and only Masterpiece. I wasn't interested in third party. That just seemed too much, or maybe just too expensive, or maybe too fringe. But now I'm exclusively collecting Masterpiece and third party. I did put my toe in the water on Legends. I actually have some Legends sitting right here. So G Tony sent me a bunch of Legends. They're really cool. They're really awesome. If I was starting over, I might even, consider this. I might consider Legends. They're really nicely done, but just too small for me. I like the bigger size. I like to be able to handle my figures. So I kind of focused my collection. I got rid of all the retail stuff, pretty much just Masterpiece Takaro. So that did come over time. And I ended up slowly weeding out any retail stuff other than like a few pieces. Pretty much everything retail is gone. I don't have anything Legends anymore. I don't have anything that's like a placeholder. I've gotten rid of placeholders. I don't need placeholders in my collection. I want the best version. So that's kind of how I collect. So that's a good question. Thanks, Halius. Appreciate that. I'm not sure who you were referring to. He's well connected, respected worldwide. What third party figure made a better figure than FT? I already answered this. MMC's Springer. These are all my opinions. So don't take my opinions as fact. This is just my thoughts. But the MMC Springer definitely feels better and transforms better than the Fans Toys version of Springer, Apache. So it's just underrated. People kind of slept on it. What Transformer has the most difficult transformation? I would say in my collection. Oh, do you mean which Transformer overall? Because I've reviewed stuff and I didn't keep it. So I don't know if you mean Transformer that I own or Transformer that I reviewed. Transformer that I own, probably Fans Toys Jabber, their version of Blur. That's probably one of the hardest to transform. Maybe even the Galvatron or the Fans Toy. There's another Fans Toys figure I have here. Yeah, probably Galvatron, I'd say, is one in there. If you're talking about just figure that I've handled, KFC or X Transbots definitely take the cake on difficult transformations to the point where they break. And that's really frustrating when the transformation's so hard that as a reviewer, you can't even get the review made because it'll break. So like Fuzz, X Transbots Fuzz wasn't very fun. There's a few KFC figures out there that aren't very fun. And the X Transbots Cup, which we just saw, Lock, I guess. We just saw Pake review. That does not look like fun. Looks like a very difficult transformation. Which YouTuber will be in your next interview? I haven't done an interview in a long time, Niles, so thanks for bringing that up. I did try to get Mr. Ben's Collectibles on here, and unfortunately, just timing just never worked out. I haven't hit him back up. I also tried to hit Pia, so Pia and Pake know each other, so I asked Pake if he could give me a connect, and that didn't work out. But I would probably try to go and see if I could get Pia or Ben or one of those guys. But honestly, I just don't have time to do it anymore, and it's hard because I have to schedule around their schedule. So You know who's doing that really well right now is Mr. Deluxe Baldwin. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, he's doing a lot of good interviews. He told me he'd had me on his channel, but I haven't been on his channel yet. That's a good question, though. Cyberverse is great. Season 4 isn't available in the UK. I haven't watched it. I only watched season 1 so far. Dr. Diecast, what's up? Who is your favorite non-transforming figure? Non-transforming figure. 3-0. 3-0 Optimus. That's probably the best feeling, the best looking. I don't own it, but that's probably the best looking, best feeling figure I've seen. 3-0 makes some really, really good stuff. I was really impressed. And actually, Dr. Diecast is the one who sent it to me, so I didn't get to see it until you sent it. I really appreciate that. That's pretty awesome. I don't think I can. I can't do the voice. So I'm not T-Man. T-Man is amazing at his impressions. He has some really good voice impressions. He does it for us, like kind of privately. Sometimes he throws them in a review. But I can't do any voices. I am Optimus Prime. Yeah, that's it. That's my best. Sorry. It's not very good. Reload Gaming Videos. Have you seen the mod to FT10X that makes him look like an awesome Jetfire? I don't know what you mean. I wish I did know what you mean. Do you mean the kit that I reviewed on this channel? There is a kit from New Supply that you can buy that makes him look like Jetfire. I did review that here. It was a first on this channel. I got the prototype here. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but hopefully you can bring that up. This Jetfire was customized by Get Right Robot. So this was my second custom Jetfire. But I'll have to get clarification on that question. Wow. Okay, there's still more questions. Favorite scene from any Transformers Bayverse? Bayverse movie. Bayverse. I just actually saw the scene that I like the most. It's Optimus Prime where he's like slicing up the Constructicons. They're on a highway and he's rolling down the highway. And as he's rolling, he transforms. He sort of skates along the road. And then he comes and he uppercuts one of the Constructicons and cuts them in half or cuts his head off or something like that. And then he's like fighting another one. Like that's my favorite scene from Bayverse. But generally speaking, I don't like Bayverse. It's not for me. I just need a drink here. All right. Oh, favorite drink. So I like these Trulies because they're very low sugar, low calories, low carbs. So I'm a low carb kind of guy. And these are pretty low carb. Michael Rogers, who I met at TFCon, also is a connoisseur, as I am, of bourbon and whiskey. So I like bourbon and whiskey. I like old fashions. Those are also pretty low carb, low sugar. All right. Anyway, toilet paper. What's your thoughts on the OS Sentinel Prime that launched recently? And greetings from Ireland. Hey, wait. Well, thanks for joining from Ireland. Oh, I think that's coming to me. So the oversized Sentinel Prime is being sent to me by Dr. Diecast. That guy sends me some awesome stuff. So when he gets it, hopefully I'm going to take a look at that. So I don't like to form an opinion until I get it in hand. So stay tuned to my channel and I will look at that oversized Sentinel Prime and I will give you my thoughts. And thanks for joining from Ireland. I appreciate that. For the figure request. I don't know. Okay. Everyone knows Robot Paradise is Fans Toys. Any insight into how utilizing the alternate name actually protects Fans Toys? It doesn't protect Fans Toys. It protects them from losing the name. So, let's rewind to back to Wei Zhang or even any KO company, right? When Hasbro comes in, and this is all speculation, by the way, so I don't know these for a fact. This is based on talking to people, hearing from manufacturers. When Hasbro starts a litigation, when they try to come after you or they try to shut down your factory, especially if you're making KO product, when you come back with the same name, they now have a person or a name tied to the company, right? So they're always going to go after that group. They know who they are. So these companies change names all the time. So you'll see like 4 or 5 different KO companies. They're all the same company. It's the same guy. It's the same couple guys who have the capital and the funds and the connections to work in the factory to make these KOs. So the name change isn't really uh, protecting them. It's protecting the brand, right? They want to protect their brand of Fans Toys. So if Robot Paradise, if they catch attention from Hasbro, they'll just drop the brand. They'll just lose the brand of Robot Paradise and move on to another name. What they don't want to do is lose their brand of Fans Toys because that has recognition. It has a meaning and a weight to it. So that's why they do that. That's my speculation anyway on why they do that. Least favorite Transformer. So I assume you mean in my collection. Probably, let's see. Probably the Final Victory. Sorry, I had to get up and look. Probably Final Victory Puffer. That thing is ready to be replaced. I'm waiting for the Bad Cube reissue, and then Fans Toys is coming out with their version of Huffer. So that's going to go soon. Wow, you guys have a lot of questions. Holy cow. I never thought you'd have this many questions and this much interest in just asking me things. Let's see. Is Optimus Prime overrated? Is he just a self-satisfied, arrogant dictator? So I really like Optimus Prime. He's my second favorite character after Jetfire. His character and his behavior and his leadership, I like it. Now I hated his big character in Earthrise. I thought that was a terrible depiction of Optimus Prime. He just didn't seem like him at all. So I like Optimus Prime, but not the Netflix or the Kingdom version of Optimus Prime. Top 5 favorite movies. Okay, that's tough. I like Fight Club a lot. I really like what's his name, Edward Norton. But I like Fight Club. I like Matrix, the first Matrix. That's one of my favorite movies. This is hard to think of on the spot. I like those Marvel movies, so I really like Endgame. Endgame's probably up there for me. Endgame or Infinity War, probably Endgame. I probably like Infinity War more because that's where they get snapped. And that was just unexpected, so that was really cool. I like, Star Wars. I forgot about Star Wars. I love Star Wars movies. So this is kind of a weird thing. I've watched the original Star Wars probably 200 times. As a child, as a young adult, then in my adult life, I've watched it over and over and over. It's just a thing, and I don't collect the toys. So I love Star Wars, but I don't collect the toys. So I'll probably throw all the Star Wars in there. My favorite Star Wars movie is probably the original, which is kind of weird for most people. Episode 4, New Hope. That's probably my favorite. And then after that, probably 8 or 9, which are also not people's favorite, but I'm going to buck the trend there. Do you ever get a lower end figure just to have in alt and keep higher end of the same character? I have FT Galvatron and open play for that. No. So I used to do that. That's a good question, Jay-Z. I used to do that. And then I realized I don't need a space filler. I don't need a robot or a alt mode just to fill the void. Now, if the alt mode is really good, then I will do that. So that I did that with the Fans Toys Hound and the Takara Tomy Hound. I really like the alt mode on the Takara Tomy Hound. Unfortunately, that figure is very fragile. It's prone to cracking. So I don't transform very often, but back here you can see I've got Hound in his alt mode, and then I've got the Fans Toys one in robot mode. But other than that, there's a very few that I keep. I will never keep a lower end figure unless it's the best version of it. That's the only reason I keep it. Sorry if you've been asked this before, but what's your top figure? Oh yeah, I already answered. That's Jetfire, and I think I answered that was going to be some Fans Toys Motormaster. DX9 is a great answer. Yeah, I like DX9. All right, I'm gonna kind of skip ahead. I can't stand Prime versus Prime. He talks a lot, but says nothing. Not for nothing, he actually does make nice reviews. Prime versus Prime, the quality of his video, the compactness, consistency of it He does a good job. I just don't agree with the ideology of it's okay to steal because he's not the one stealing. Somebody else is doing the stealing. He's paying them to do the stealing. I still think it's wrong, but his reviews are well done. He has well produced, good quality videos. I'll say that. Mega Doomer says DX9 Chigger is still one of my favorites. I have never looked at DX9 Chigger. I'd like to do a comparison, but of course the Fans Toys one just blew it out of the water when it came out. So I still, oh, that's another one of my favorite figures. Fans Toys Thomas, really really good figure. I love the transformation. I love the alt modes. I love the robot mode. I love the accessories. I love everything about that figure. Great figure. RID says just got FT Phoenix in today. Yeah, I love Phoenix. It's a great feeling. Just gives you those G1 back in the days 1980s feels, right? It's just big and blocky and got diecast in it. It feels good. Mark said a complete Godakin Voltron 1982, contemplating on selling it for $3K. Wow. I didn't know it goes for that much. That's awesome. Steve said MP is my first choice, but I am buying a ton of Legends. Shadowbird, did you ever want a figure so bad you went and paid a high price for it? Yes. I've learned not to do that anymore. Now I just pre-order. I pre-order it. So Fans Toys is a perfect example. Fans Toys is one of those where you're better off just pre-ordering it, paying their original price. And if you don't like it, just sell it. Sell it at the price you paid or more. Sometimes you can sell it for more. But if you wait, you're gonna pay more. So a couple of times that happened. So I paid more for Fans Toys Spotter. It wasn't ridiculous. I think it was like $250 for Fans Toys Spotter. Now it goes for even more. I think I paid more for the Fans Toys Insecticons, and then stupidly, like a year or two later, it got reissued for lower. So a couple times that happened, but generally speaking, now I don't. I just pre-order it and try to get it, or I'm patient and I wait. I wait till it gets a reissue or a new version of it comes out. I try to avoid that if I can. These are good questions, by the way. And keep them coming. Joni B says, "What's your thoughts on the OS Sentinel Prime?" Oh, I already answered that one. I'm going to be reviewing that OS Sentinel Prime. Hey, T-Man, what's up? I don't know. I'm probably real behind on comments, so I have no idea. Hi, TM. What's your top 5 favorite figures of all time? I think I answered this already, so I'm going to skip that one. Marcus says, I'm a broke collector, so getting an early review saves me money. Sorry, but not really. Yeah, no, I understand it. I understand. Being able to see that early review helps you decide, should you even bother pre-ordering this or not? It makes sense. I understand it. I get the value of that. T-Man says, let me come up with something super hard for you to answer. Okay, you do that, T-Man. So let me tell you a story about T-Man since he's here. So a few years ago, before I knew T-Man, someone came on my channel and left a comment and said, and I was talking to them, and they called me T-Man. And I said, no, my name is TM Reviews. Like, oh, didn't you do the review on such and such? And it was some figure that I don't look at, some line that I don't look at. And I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, T-Man, yeah, you just did a review on this thing. And then he gave me a link, and of course it's not my video. I have no idea why people confuse TM Reviews with T-Man 978. They're completely different names. We don't look the same. Although I guess now in November when I grow the beard, we look similar, but we don't look the same. I'm Indian descent. He's Black descent. So we're not the same, but for whatever reason we get confused. So I actually went and I watched a video of his, and I really liked his channel. Then I hit him up. We did an interview, and now we're friends. So that's kind of how we met. Somebody called me T-Man by accident. Jonathan Walker says, just got here. So sorry if this was asked. What's your number one regret in buying an MP? That's a really good question. I would say probably Fans Toys Hound. No, sorry. I'll change that. I'll say KFC Transistor. And the reason I'm saying that is I've bought it and sold it 4 times. I bought it once, brand new. I hated the quality. It was kind of crappy, but it's the only version of Blaster that we have. So I sold it when I wasn't happy with it. I bought it again when a new color, I think it was a red version, right? The pure red version came out. I bought that. Same problem. Poor quality joints, kind of loose, not the best. Sold it again. Then a friend of mine, John Lant, who was kind of selling his entire collection, he sold it super duper cheap. I think it was like $85 or $80. And he was like, "Do you want this? I'm selling it for $80." Well, sure. So I bought a third one. And then I had it for a while. And again, as the quality, sold it. And then finally, a fourth time, I still have it. It's in my collection. It's right there. It's going to stay until Fans Toys comes out. I have my 4th version of KFC Transistor. That figure is the bane of my existence. I don't know why I keep buying it. I shouldn't, but I do. Good question. Can you ever see Takara making a proper combiner, for example, Devastator? So that's a good question. If they were going to make a combiner, it would be Devastator. That's my guess. I have no idea why they started with the train bots, with Raiden. So their first combiner is going to be MPG Raiden. If you don't know that, they've already they've released images of the first bot, Shuki. And it looks cool. The price is a little bit out there for me. I'm not interested enough to spend that kind of money. So it's about $200 a figure. There's 6 train bots in Raiden. So that's going to be $1,200 if you want to get the whole set, which is a little pricey, especially if you don't love the figure. If you love the character Raiden, then of course you're going to want it. It's the first masterpiece Raiden. Now, why didn't they choose Devastator? That's their, it should be their first combiner figure. But now they've started this new line. It's called the MPG line. I think G stands for giant. So my guess is Devastator's on the it's in the books, right? It's coming. Because why would they create this MPG line if they weren't going to make Devastator? So I think that's coming, but who knows? Who knows what Takara's decision-making process is? Do you think Giganticus, let me see how far behind I am. Oh my God, you guys have so many questions. Do you think Giganticus Omega Supreme is better than Fans Toys version? Giganticus? I think you mean DX9. I'm not sure what Giganticus is. My favorite Omega Supreme is DX9. It's the most solid. The joints are sturdy. It's got paint. The transformation's fun. I highly recommend DX9 Gabriel. It's on BBTS right now. It's actually on sale. It might be sold out now, but highly recommend DX9 Gabriel as Omega Supreme. Does anyone know anybody who's going all in on the X Transbots Carbot repaints? Yeah, I know someone. So there's a couple people. Actually, I'm going to shout out a group. So Dr. Diecast started a new Facebook group. It's called Transformers Exclusives, Customs, and Repaints, or ERC, Exclusive Repaints Customs. It's a really cool group because you get to see all of the images of customs that are out there, all the repaints like these X Transbots, Carbots that are coming out. And there are people who are going to buy all of those Carbots. So if you're interested in, or you're the kind of person that likes those repaints, you should join that group, Transformers ERC. Search on Facebook groups. They've got some good members going now. It's a pretty good group. But if you like that kind of stuff, if you like clear or repaints or custom figures, that's a perfect group for you. Professor D. JZ, ever get a cheaper MP figure to keep in alt mode and a higher one in it? Oh, I already answered this question. I think the only one I've done is the Fans Toys and Takara. King Rouse, what's up? You're still working on getting 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, you get to unlock some things. So let me talk about YouTube for a little bit. So YouTube is very hard to make money. I'll tell you, I'm just going to be honest with you. So I make about $150 every month to 2 months. It depends. If I put on a video out every 2 days, I can keep up that pace. And that's so about $150 every month to month and a half. So on average in a year, probably somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200, which is not a lot. I mean, you can't make a living on that. You need to be really in the millions. So if you're interested, you're thinking about going into YouTube, creating a channel, and you're interested in the money, I'll just tell you right now, you're not going to be profitable, especially if you're doing reviews, because you have to pay for the stuff that you buy. I'm fortunate enough to get stuff like this sent to me. So this is from Carl S. So I don't have to buy everything, but I do buy a lot of most of the stuff on my channel is bought by me, paid by me. I do get a small discount from Toy Dojo since I do advertise their website. I really like Toy Dojo. I work with Toy Dojo because I think they're actually a really good seller. They have good practices. They're consistent. They deliver quickly. They're usually the first when it comes to fans toys or any MMC figures. They're almost always one of the first. So I just like doing business with them. So it was just kind of a bonus to be able to get a discount with them. But other than that, I pay for all my figures. So it is actually not profitable to be on YouTube. You actually end up losing money because to pay for the figures, to pay for the camera, to pay for the phone that's brand new that I'm filming on right now, pay for the lighting, pay for all the stuff you need to do this, it's a losing proposition. So you have to only do it if you love it. If you like, talking to people, you like making videos, you like reviewing, playing with toys or transforming toys, then I would recommend it. Other than that, it's not, you're not going to make any money on it. And King Raz, I wasn't implying that that's what you're trying to do. I just wanted to get that out there. So the collection's looking wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have a collection review coming up. So let me talk about that. End of the year, I always do, every 6 months, I do a collection review. So there's one coming up at the end of November/December. So I'll go through everything in the collection, the new backgrounds, new figures, new accessories, stuff like that, new lighting. And then I'll do the best and worst, or I guess best and most disappointing figures of 2021. There was a ton of figures of 2021. That's going to be a hard video to make. T-Man and Pig do that same video, so that it'll be interesting to talk about that. Niall says, who do you prefer, Pig or T-Man? Well, that's an easy question to answer because Pig is not making any videos. So right now, T-Man is the default answer because Pig is making like one video every 3 months, basically. He gets figures, but for whatever reason, he just leaves them in the box or doesn't review them. When he does a review, I always watch it. I watch every single one of Pig for Life's reviews. T-Man, close. I haven't watched every, but Pig, I definitely have watched every single review of his. But right now, T-Man's my favorite because he makes content. T-Man says I'm better. I still haven't seen a question from him. Favorite Bayverse movie scene credits? I don't even know how to answer that question. Favorite Bayverse movie scene. Oh, credits. I get it. The credits in the movie. Yeah, because the movie's over. Now that Eclipse Wave is out, what is your most anticipated figure you want to come out? Good question. Probably Fans Toys. So it's between X Transbots and Fans Toys. So X Transbots had some really interesting stuff coming. The question is the quality going to be good? So X Transbots Springer, which I've had on pre-order since June of 2019. That pre-order is getting so old, I don't even know if it's going to be honored anymore. The X Transbots version of Perceptor and the Fans Toys version of Perceptor both look really good. So that's going to be a tough decision. I'm not going to keep both. I'm only have one in my collection, but both of those figures I'm looking forward to. Fans Toys Rig, I'm not that excited, but I definitely want to replace my Final Victory piece of junk. That's going to go. Let's see, what else? X Transbots version of Ultra Magnus, even though we already have that figure. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff but for me personally, I get most excited for Fans Toys stuff. MMC. I forgot about MMC. MMC's version of Defensor. I'm really excited about Defensor because their robots, their transformations, and their designs are really awesome. So MMC Defensor. I'm looking forward to that. Beard Mac. Yeah, I got the beard going. What's up, Sean? Thanks for joining. All right, he said like malt liquor. Wow, I must be super duper behind because I talked about bourbon like 20 minutes ago. Beard looking good, maybe full. Yeah, thank you. T-Man says, I like when Bumblebee transforms while Sam is still riding inside, throws him in the air, then transforms back. Yeah, that's a good scene. All right, let me see if I'm caught up. I need a new MP Skywarp. Should I go to Kara or a Deformation Space? So I haven't decided yet. I have both. I have the Takara Tomy Thundercracker, and I have the Deformation Space Thundercracker coming. I'm having a hard time deciding, but I'll give you my opinion. So if you like a really, really tune accurate looking robot, but you don't care about transformation and you don't transform your figures, then Deformation Space is the one for you. It looks very, very accurate. It's big, it's imposing, it's fun to pose, but the transformation is awful, even to the point where it scratches its own paint. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't flip things back and forth, then I recommend Deformation Space. If you like to transform, if you like to mess with it a lot, excuse me, and you're worried about the paint, I would go with MP52. MP52 definitely has better paint in terms of scraping and scratching. Yeah, T-Man says both are good. You can't go wrong. Either one are good, but they're for different purposes. Least favorite Transformer character. Okay. Probably I can't remember the name now. Gears. I don't care about Gears. I've never cared about Gears. I always thought he looked dumb. I think the alt mode looks dumb. I think the robot mode looks dumb. I don't know why he has a He-Man style, or not He-Man, but what's his name? Man at Arms. He's got that big chunky head. I've never liked it. So it's kind of a useless character to me. And I actually don't have the Bad Cube version because of that reason. And any of those mini bots, like whatever the other one is, the one that's a mold mate to Gears, I don't care for them. Wow, more questions. Professor D, I'd say get whichever. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Paul says, watch Midnight Mass on Netflix. You haven't already? Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you. This has been a lot of questions, so I am getting fatigued. I don't even know how long I've been going here. Explanation of the robot Paradise name to protect the main brand fans does, I think, is spot on. Yeah, I mean, again, that's speculation on my part. We don't know the answer. I did actually ask Dahlia and JJ. So if you email fanstoys@service.com, typically Dahlia and JJ responds. And I asked him that question and he didn't answer me. So obviously they want it to be unknown or hidden. They don't want us to know the answer. T-Man, wow, $5. I'm going to have to scroll down and see what you said. Where can we buy your shirts? Wow, what a awesome question. And also thank you for the $5. By the way, nobody needs to give me money. T-Man's trying to start a trend, but you don't need to do that. So the t-shirts have moved from eBay over to Etsy. The main reason I did that is so I could drop the cost down. So on eBay charges a ton of fees and it's very expensive. So Etsy was a little bit cheaper. So I brought the price down. I think it was $30 before. I think it's down to 27 now. So you save a couple bucks from Etsy. The link is on my Facebook page, but you can also go to etsy.com/tmreview and you can find it. All right, I'm going to go back because I missed a couple of things here. Would you ever go and see Cybertronic Speed? I want to see Cybertronic Speed. I wish they would come to TFCon, or I wish they would come to BotCon. Next year, BotCon 2022 is happening. If you don't know, BotCon has been out of commission for, I think, over 3 or 4 years. BotCon is coming back next year. So I hope Cybertronic Spree is invited to BotCon, and I hope to go to BotCon if they have it in person. Wow, why are all these people donating? Thank you. Let's see, I can't even see who it was. Ricky Gregory. Appreciate the donation. You don't need to do that though. Does your family enjoy the collection and do they get excited about collecting? No. My family does not enjoy the collection. My wife started my collection So she understands it, she supports it, but she doesn't enjoy it like I do. She got me MP10. So my first masterpiece figure was MP10. She bought it from Toys R Us. She bought me two, so I could keep one and I could have another one either keep in box or to sell if I wanted to sell. I ended up selling it. But she got me into this hobby. She's the one that supported me starting my YouTube channel, but she could care less about Transformers. She doesn't care. Occasionally I ask her, like, okay, what do you prefer? Which one do you think better? Not these two, but I'll like hold the sound waves up side by side and I'll ask her, which one do you think looks better? She'll answer that kind of question, but generally speaking, she doesn't care. She really doesn't care about Transformers. My daughter is not a collector either, except for the dumbest toy in the world, which is stuffed animals. She has a whole gigantic stuffed animal collection. My house is filled with stuffed animals to the point where I've asked her to try to get rid of some and she hasn't. So she collects that, but that's really it. Nothing else. Oh my gosh, you guys are donating way too much. I'm going to have to see who donated now. I'm scrolled way back. So if you're donating and you're asking a question, I will definitely get to your question. I'm sorry that I'm so far behind. I'll try to catch up now. Oh, the cake is gone. We're just on an orange crust soda. Thierry is quick trying to hog all the YouTube Transformers money for you and your syndicate. Okay, so I'm not part of the syndicate, by the way. T-Man did start the syndicate. There's a group actually called the Syndicate. If you're interested, you can join that. KFC Horcons. I've never checked out the KFC Horcons. I do want to check those out. Michael Rogers, where's the mods at to help with questions? Yeah, that's a good point. Michael, I'm just behind. It's not the mods. I'm just so far behind. Professor D. By the way, never mind. Just I don't try to throw us off the scent saying you'll never sell anything on this channel. Just take our money. I did sell those t-shirts are for sale. So they're basically not these, but the ones that say team reviews. You can buy those on Etsy. That's basically the only thing I've ever listed for sale. And that's because you guys asked me so many times for it. I finally gave in and listed it. Are they releasing the rest of the Fans Toys Dinos? I think so. The one that's in question is the Fans Toys Scoria. Are they going to do Fans Toys Scoria, or are they going to do Perfect Fusion Cesium? We're not clear on that. We know they're re-releasing all the dinos. A question has come up whether they're even being purchased. So right now, retailers are holding on to a lot of stock of Fans Toys dinos. They're not really selling. So Fans Toys might pull the plug on the reissues because they're just sitting there. They're just sitting there and not selling. I'll tell you, Toy Dojo has a ton of Fans Toys stuff sitting because people aren't buying it. So they may pull out of that. They may not do the rest. 5 more packets of gummy bears. Why are you eating gummy bears? What is one masterpiece figure you wish someone would make that no one has ever made? I would like a masterpiece Alpha Triumph. And the reason is it doesn't need to transform. So you just need to make an action figure, a really nice action figure. I think a 3-0 could do it, or any of those action figure companies. Flame Disc could probably do it, but they usually do stuff like this, IDW. So I don't want IDW. I want an original. I am doing a collaboration to try to do a custom one. So we'll see if if I can get that made. But right now, I would like a Alpha Triad. That'd be really cool. I did want, just getting back to this question, I did want a Runamuck and Runabout, but then I had Get Right Robot. I commissioned him to do a custom. I love those customs. But as soon as I did that, X-Transbots announced they're making Runabout and Runamuck. So go figure, right? You're welcome. I got you guys Runabout and Runamuck. I answered that one already. What I like about your live stream is how committed you are to not just answer each comment, thinking about your answers before giving them. Oh, I appreciate that. Mega Doomer, thank you. Again, you guys don't have to donate. If you have a question, Mega Doomer, I'll just ask it. I'll be ready to answer. What is Fans Toys Perceptor coming out? Sometime next year, first quarter of 2022 is the scheduled date. Fans Toys have been pretty good about their dates. I don't know if their Perceptor is on schedule, but for the most part, they've been nailing their release dates, despite the shipping crisis, which is happening right now. If you don't know, there's a huge shipping crisis across the world, especially things from China are all trapped in big shipping containers in California or main ports around the world. And the problem is there's not enough workers to unload and load those shipping containers and then ship them out. So tons of stuff is just trapped in ports. And Fans Toys is, stuck in the same situation as everyone else. All their stuff is in those crates too. What's your favorite Beast Wars MP figure? I will credit G Tony for this. This guy. This is my favorite Beast Wars. I love, love, love this figure. I had the Kingdom version. Actually, I still have the Kingdom, but this guy is awesome. I love the features, the little fold out things, the light up head. That's just really cool. Favorite figure, favorite Beast Wars figures. In contrast to that, I don't like the other ones. I just looked at Tigatron. I'm going to be reviewing Tigatron very soon, the Masterpiece Tigatron, along with Cheetor and Shadow Panther. I don't like those figures. They're really blocky and they don't look like the animals. There's parts sticking out. I think I also looked at what was the other Masterpiece? I think it was Transart. Those are okay. I'm not a big Beast Wars guy, but that figure is awesome. Optimus Primal. I know that's boring. Professor D, thank you. That $10. That's a lot. Okay, that's just ridiculous. Thank you. It's not necessary. Tell T-Man I'm going to outbid him and buy his random. Okay. Thank you, Professor D. You don't need to do that. I appreciate that. That's really, really kind of you, but you don't need to do that. Vidal Sassoon, are Fans Toys re-releasing all the dinos? So I just answered this question. It looks like their release of Stomp and Soar are sitting on the shelves. So the word on the street is they may not do the rest because they're not seeing the profit. They're not seeing the things sell. So the retailers aren't going to buy it if it's not selling. So, it's a domino effect. Guys, cool with the donations. Yes, I and then you just gave another donation. Thank you. Big Brother would not let me use the phrase bidding war in my sandwich. That's weird. T-Man, he's lucky I was here. I'm filming a review. Thank you for joining, T-Man, and everyone else. Okay, we're probably going to wrap up soon. I answered this question already. Team reviews, be a completionist, please. No, I'm not. This is it. This is my only Beast Wars figure. Not getting any more. That's it. I love this guy. I really love this guy. And thanks to G Tony, he sold that to me. I love it. Let's see. Transfan says, we all found cheaper places to purchase them from. I'm not sure what answer you're asking. All right, T-Man, thanks for joining. I'm sure he already left. Appreciate it. Anyone want to sell me FT, Grimlock, Snarl, Slag? Those are actually hard to come by. They're going for like $300 each. I'm glad I bought them when I did. I paid more than the retail. I think I paid $250 each, but now they're even more. So that's one figures I don't regret buying because they just went crazy on the price. All right, I think I'm caught up. So we can probably end here. I don't even know what time it is. Let's see. Alphatron is always my answer to the question. Can I get Ian on that collab? I don't know. You'll have to hit up Mr. Get Right Robot and ask him. I'm trying to get that. That's on the schedule for like sometime next year. He's so booked up. It's very hard to get his time. So I'm just hoping for the best with that. I may or may not be able to get in there. Ken Perez says, do you have some issues with Planet X Grimlock's arms? I didn't buy the Planet X Grimlock, so I'm not having it for a review. Unless somebody buys it and sends it to me for review, I'm probably not going to take a look at it. It looks really awesome, but I don't have it for review, so I'm not sure. Sorry about that. It's 3 a.m. in the UK. Wow, you stayed with me until 3 a.m. That's awesome. Thank you, Darth Coconut. What a cool name. Okay, I don't know how long I've been going. It seems like a while. Oh, it's an hour. Okay, so we're probably at 10 o'clock. I'll take one more question, and I think we're going to call it for today. Tidirium Herring here. What's up? Thanks for joining. Okay, last two questions. What would you recommend for a new MP collector? So if you're brand new and you're trying to catch up, it's kind of hard because a lot of the MP figures now are getting up there in price. So, and this is going to be controversial, but if you're looking to catch up on all of the Datsuns or the Sideswipe or the Lambo molds, I would recommend going KO because they're going to be very hard to track down all of the original release figures at a reasonable price. Each of them are now going like 120 bucks each. Originally, they were 80 bucks each. So if you're starting out brand new and you really want those, they made some really good KOs that are almost as good as the original. Other than those, I'd probably go for the originals, the Takaras. You can probably save a little money getting secondhand. So people right now are selling, for example, MP13 Soundwave, which is a really good figure. So that's another strategy if you're trying to catch up and you're trying to get MP figures and you don't really want to spend the money on like a Fans Toys Acoustic Wave, you can get the MP13 figure. I'm going to be reviewing these pretty soon. I just forgot to mention this. These little translucent New Age figures, they're really cool. Again, from G Tony. Princeton Phalanx. Oh, thank you. Okay. I didn't even ask a question. You just gave me money. I would prefer to answer a question if you're going to donate, just so I can give you something for your money. All right. Transfan, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned and showed FT straight out of the box configuration. You were the only reviewer to mention it. That's not true. Pake for Life did that too. Pake for Life actually does that every time. He shows you exactly how it comes out of the box. And I'm not going to take credit for that. I learned that from Pake for Life. He taught me that's a good thing to do because people are looking for that. So I'm going to credit Pake for Life with the idea, but I did do it. So I appreciate you mentioning it and I appreciate you watching my review. Tidare says Stomp and Soar are overpriced along with FT reissues. They may be overpriced, but they're definitely not selling, so they might not go any further with that. Jay-Z, have a good night. Thanks for joining. You review New Age toys? Yep, I'm going to be reviewing a bunch more New Age toys. If you're interested in the Ultra Magnus that just came out, that's going to be coming from G Tony again. He's my New Age supplier. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. Okay, I'll take two more questions. Think FT Hydra will be reissued? Probably not. So that didn't sell well on release. It wasn't very popular. Now it's gaining traction, but I don't know. I don't know about FT Hydra. There's probably other figures they've released before that, like Lupus, a few others. Ricky Greg, how long does it take you to dust those shelves? I'm very fortunate. These shelves, for whatever reason, so this is in my basement. They're all like up high off the ground. For whatever reason, that spot in my basement doesn't get dusty. So I really don't need to dust. The only time I need to dust is if I hit one of these drop ceiling panels and the dust falls off the panel. Although other than that, I never really have to dust. So I'm just lucky like that. A lot of people who even have enclosed glass have to dust. And I'm just lucky I don't have to. Thanks, Pure Rage. Thanks, Tideria. Appreciate the compliment. Which one is the best third party for you, Fans Toys or X-Transbots? I like them both. So they both have really good figures. My collection is primarily probably those two companies have the most number of figures in my collection. Fans Toys, X-Transbots, MMC are the top three companies in my collection. If you're asking me to pick one company, like, for example, if the company was going to go out of business tomorrow and I had to pick one, I'd pick Fans Toys because X-Transbots is very inconsistent. They'll have a knockout figure and then they'll have a junk figure or a figure that's impossible to transform or a figure that falls apart. Or they'll have a really awesome figure that works really well. I really like their skids. X-Transbot skids is really nice. It's going to be a tough competition with the Takara Tomy figure, which is coming out in a couple weeks, by the way. So check out my review when that comes. I'm pretty sure T-Man will also have a review for that Takara Tomy skids that's coming up. New Age is just like a minimized version of Fans Toys. Yeah, it does really feel like that. The difference is they take out all the hardware. So if you look at these figures, they're all pin joints. They're all friction joints. Fans Toys uses a lot of hardware like ratchets and die-cast parts. So the reason New Age is able to do this is lightweight. It's small. So they don't need all that hardware. But they do a great job. I really think they do a good job. They're the Fans Toys of Legends. Okay, I think I've caught up. What is your thought on X Transbots versus MP Skids? I can't answer that question because I don't have MP Skids in hand. MP Skids is coming in 2 to 3 weeks. So when I have it, of course, I will be doing a versus. You guys know that. I always do the versus. I did get the idea from Bobby, of course, but I've kind of taken my own spin on it. So he'll probably have a versus too, but I'm going to have a versus on those figures, and I'll let you know when I get them, what I think. Jay Goody, it's good to see you too. Thanks for joining. This is a very long live, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me all these times and me being so far behind on questions. Haley says I put weather stripping on the details. That's a good idea to keep the dust out. That really helps. MS Square is much more like Fans Toys. I don't know if Magic Square is like Fans Toys. Magic Square plastic quality is very different than Fans Toys. They have some cool figures, but I don't know if they're up there with Fans Toys just yet. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for everybody for joining. I didn't expect this many people, this many questions. That seems like it was worth it to me, so I appreciate that. I appreciate all the donations, which you didn't need to do. I always say I don't need that, but since you did that, I do appreciate that. That does help the channel. What I really want from you, though, so if you're interested in helping my channel and you want to do something to help me out, the number one thing you can do is share my videos. That's all I will ever ask. I don't need donations. It's great that you did it, but I don't need them. So all I really ask for is on Facebook or social media. I don't even have a presence on Instagram. I don't have a presence on Twitter. So if you do have a presence there and you are the kind of person that shares Transformers stuff or third-party stuff, please share my videos or share my content. That's the best thing you can do to help me and my channel. I don't need donations. I don't need to buy stuff from me. I just need people to share. If you enjoy my content, that's all I ask for. So thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. This was really fun. I will have a couple things coming up. So I got this Flames Toys Star Saber. I have the Metal Beast Cold Dragon. And we have the New Age Translucent. We're going to do it as a whole set of these guys all together. All right, so stay tuned for those reviews. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.